and I'm going to check for you guys just so I can clarify that real quick. But again, I think that's already been rectified. Um, and if I would have known about it sooner, I would have told everybody about it. But it was found out in the middle of the night while I was asleep. So I woke up to messages from Maverick telling me the updated information, where we were, what the problem was, and how to fix it. So I then sprung into action on my side of things, fixed the technical issue from my contract, and that freed up the problem with the constructor. And then we ran into whenever I went to go test, make sure that that was working properly. That's when we ran into the next issue. I was like, oh, well, but I can't even test this right now because I can't pull the liquidity back out of the farm. And then she showed me what that issue was. It was a UI issue. They're going to the data fix shortly. In the meantime, I tested the manual pull, and it did work. So that freed up any of my actual concerns. Didn't mention anything in the channels because I knew it was getting worked on, and I was doubtful that anybody would run into that issue immediately. Most people who are farming now, who went ahead and put their stuff in the farm, they plan on being in the farm for at least a couple of days. Um, so again, for talking, I thought I'd bring it up and just full transparency with everybody. That was going on. Again, pretty sure certain it's fixed now and no longer a problem. Again, MetaBin not in here. That's wild. So yeah. Um, Everybody woke up to the same market that I woke up to today. Everything was just completely blood red, bleeding every direction. In situations like this, I do like to do a general review of the project and the holdings and try to figure out what the sentiment is necessarily amongst the crowd itself, and it helps me judge, the job that I'm doing and the team's doing, and maybe what we can and cannot improve upon and such. And if you really look at our holder base and um, who's still holding and what they're still holding and what kind of sell has taken place over the last couple days, our sell action itself actually hasn't been terrible. We've been greatly impacted by BNB and the way that um, it's triangled down so rapidly. I'm not saying that we have been pumping this entire time, um, but we've actually been holding our own fairly well in this altogether bloodbath of a market. And in case anybody has ever wondered how exactly that works, our liquidity pairing is MetaBUSD coin and paired with BNB. So whenever BNB's price goes down, some charts and some like PooCoin, it only includes BNB towards your liquidity, but there's other places like Bog Finance and such that include both your native token your token along with its native chain pair. So it includes like the Meta and the BUSD together. So that's where and the BNB together, and that's where you get the liquidity amount. Either way, though, reflectively, it works the same. BNB's price goes down, it percentage of value directly impacts your liquidity immediately. So even if we didn't trade up or down, if we did $0 in volume one day, you just literally were just sitting there, no trades were taking place whatsoever. Price wouldn't stay stagnant. It would either move up with green or move down with red, depending on what BNB did that day. If BNB's price dropped, you would literally see a red candle on your chart, even if you had no sell action. The chart itself, because of how it looks for whenever we're looking at it, like for trading view, wouldn't necessarily show anything at all. But say there was like a $5 sale 2 hours later after the price drop, you would then see a red dot way down on the bottom of the chart. And it's not because that $5 sale, it's because of what the new price was, comparatively speaking, to what it was the last time there was a volume impact. for the trading view chart. You can look at just a price chart analysis and it would track it in live time and show you the red candle from BNB's price falling, equivalent to what your price is. Most of you that are sitting in here realize that, but I thought it would be just a nice, quick little thing to go over. Um, Not anyone can judge the market perfectly and exactly what's going to take place and how it's going to take place. But that being said, this fallout was fairly expected amongst the team itself. And there's a few members even in this crowd that have known me personally long enough to realize that, like, hey, I've talked about this for months and months now. We knew that this was going to happen. We designed the token and the project itself, even the timeline of development around this stuff. There's a couple of things that the team really does wish that we would have been able to have finished by now, and a lot of that's honestly just personally on me. I have a hard time on my day-to-day actions sometimes managing my focus between so many different aspects of the project itself. But that's just something that organization wise we are working out as we move along. We're still just 1 month old, but we do wish we would have been able to have the NFTs dropped by now. A couple of things that have happened with development of the project overall, not just like within the NFT division itself, but within the VR development, within some of our internal devs. I had a hard time with Yanoslav Dimitrov, one of our VR devs, for a while in his own personal life, getting him involved, getting him on track. Uh, took a lot took a lot more than it should have, but we are there, and he is involved and on track and doing the right things now. That being said, stuff like that happens behind the scenes, and it takes up some of my dedication. And as far as the actual NFT drop itself, so much of that is, um, like the creative part of it, the art side of things, that is all completely handled and ran by Cody Dobbs, our artist. We don't step in the way of artwork. We want artists to develop things the way that they want to. Their creative spirit shine through their artwork. Um, I myself am not an artist, so I don't even begin to try to understand how that process works and what makes art good and stuff like that. I'm not that guy. So he obviously runs all of that, but as far as the actual um, put the product, it's been on me, and I'll fully own up to that. We've ran a little bit behind schedule on that. We wanted to pretty much have that stuff done and dropped around the 1 month marker. I think I had even mentioned that to many people, um, even like during pre-sale. That was definitely like the team's internal goal. We definitely never made that promise to anybody, but I do think I shared that goal, and I'm letting you guys know now that that was my goal, and I have fallen a little bit behind on that. We're not far behind though. We're working out a lot of the final details right now, and we're going to get those pushed out to everybody as quickly as we possibly can. I need to do some paperwork stuff on my end. I need to get some forms out to people, especially now since we've also moved into farming. I know there's people that have pre-sale tokens that have probably already put them in the farms even, as well as some people who have sold some and some people who have moved some and bought more, so on and so forth. I want to make sure that if you're owed an NFT from the pre-sale and you still have your token amount, whether it's in 2 or 3 different wallets or whether it's in a farm somewhere and a little bit in your wallet, I want to make sure that you are accounted for and you're not missing out. I don't think it's going to be a difficult process. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of people that are going to have to be having to fill out these forms, but I'll make sure I get those out to everybody. More than likely on Monday is when I'll get those published. It'll be a simple Google Doc. You'll just fill it out. I'll automatically get it received to the Meta email, and we'll go from there. And again, I do apologize about that delay. That's one of the smaller reasons why we pushed forward with the farming as quickly as we possibly could, just to make sure that we were satisfying a need for general product development, making sure that people know that we are continuing to move in the forward direction. And I think that's been apparent. but we have had some questions amongst the crowds within certain channels. But we're always working on our partnerships. We're constantly in communication with other projects, other brands, and companies, and we're building this thing one step at a time. But we are working as quickly as we can to get a lot of our initial offerings off the ground. Um, Tonight, I have a meeting at 7:30 or 8, one of the two, depending on my children and what they want to do and how they want to behave. You, um, I will be getting down with Warguile. He's got that time scheduled out as well, and we will put some of the final nuts and bolts in our VR chat um, channel. That way, we will start holding these AMAs in there. I know that that's something that we've talked about a lot, and I think I underestimated a little bit how much of the community really wanted to go ahead and start that engagement right now. And I know I had even personal team members that were pushing me to try to get that done. And to be honest with everybody, uh, it's just a split between a couple of different things. It's my personal availability combined because on a lot of this stuff, and let's just be completely open and honest here, as if we were all just one big happy family. A lot of this stuff, whenever you're working on development and anything in general, it could be an application, it could be just a single game, it could be anything like that. Everybody's gonna want to do like their own personal spin and their own personal input on whatever product that they're bringing to market. So even as something as small as an individual private space for a meeting area for us in our community, having somebody else do the development work on it, which is what I'm having done. I'm having Warguile do this for us, and even though he's our dev, he's working for us, and this is what he's doing. He's going to be somewhat nervous about what his actual final goal and decisions, especially whenever we're talking about like the looks and the feel of something, the cosmetics. Uh, he's going to have a little bit of indecision there, um, contracting that stuff out for us without my direct input. So it really is something I have to take a moment to have a hands-on time for. So I apologize that I haven't been able to dedicate that um, time directly to that. Again, my reasoning behind that is that it's not technically an actual product for the company itself. It's not going to generate us any revenue. It's not going to take us any steps closer to our actual goals. And I personally always work as efficiently as possible when I can. So if I'm doing something, I want it to be done towards, you know, the finish line. How is this going to help us? How is this going to help us succeed in any way, shape, or form? I personally did not see of course I did. I was the one who brought it up, so I saw like somewhat of an inherent value to doing that, to starting a meeting space within like a VR chat. I completely do understand the inherent value that is there, but I underestimated it. Is I guess what I'm getting at. I think there were definitely some community members that had been let down that were not already meeting in a virtual realm. So that is something that's top of the priority list for this weekend. We will get that done. Again, I have a meeting this evening with Warguile, and I will be meeting with him again tomorrow, and we will go ahead and get this rolling. I apologize that it hasn't already been done. At least now you know what my train of thought was there, why we are delayed, and how I'm going to fix it. Best that I can do. Our marketing plans right now, we have a really good video that's going to be coming out tomorrow. I think it's going to be tomorrow evening. I'm working with the YouTuber right now. We've been in communication for a couple days. It's Classy Crypto. Um, my understanding from references that I've received, as well as from talking to the individual himself, I do believe it's a whole lot like the mobile trades effect or the Zeus effect, where he's got a core group of community members that essentially just no matter what, if he agrees to it, he backs it, he likes the project, they just kind of go with his word, and they end up aping in and supporting really hard. So I'm kind of excited about this one. I think this is going to be a good video, a good fit. We have some deals worked out with some other influencers. I haven't wanted to say a whole lot of uh, detailed information to the community, but not there's not a whole lot of us in here. Even though this will be recorded, I don't think tons of people are going to be listening to it, so I'm not too nervous about it. But as soon as our LLC is filed and finished, Crypto Atlas will be coming on board, and he will be kind of a long-term partner of ours, doing reviews for us, indefinitely into the future. A whole lot like Mobile Trades does, and a couple other partners that we had. I know we haven't been working with those guys very much anymore. A lot of that's again going down to branding and image. If we're gonna have anybody covering us, especially long term, repeatedly, week on, week on, we want to make sure that that's the right people that are doing it. And I think we made some a little rocky steps early on with who we had covering us, and I don't think it necessarily hurt us per se, but we can do better. The community made that very clear to us, and that's what they wanted to see. So we made that a point to definitely kind of move that in the right direction. Um, I'm excited about these things. I really am. That might not sound like it just because we are also evaluating our marketing decisions with our current market. We have definite steps that we have to take, that we have to make, and we want to make sure that we are going to be able to make those steps. One of them is being able to really push the NFTs hard whenever we're ready for them to drop. All of our marketing funds are directly tied to BNB. All of our funds for marketing are held in BNB. Right now, over the last 24 48 hours, our entire marketing budget fell 25%. In the last 48 hours. So hopefully we can time everything just right to where we're able to space this out just a little bit. Um, get these influencer partners on board, the right ones that are going to do the right job for us, cover us correctly, do the in-depth studies. Or Atlas agreed, for instance, you know, that was a 4-hour conversation and 3 months of talking back and forth. I've talked to Atlas for 3 months. And we talked on the phone for 4 hours before I could even get like a yes out of him. Um, and then same thing with like Classy. Not as extensive, obviously. I only talked to him back and forth for a couple of days. But these are people who accept you unless they do research, unless they like the project, they like the team. They do a little bit more of an in study on the project. So whenever they make their content, formative, and it's not just a reading off the website. That's what we need, and we need more partners like that. We've got a few that are really, really good. I'm in talks with a few others that I haven't got a yes on yet or anything like that, so I can't reveal that information. But as soon as I do get confirmations from these guys, I'll let y'all know. And I do believe wholeheartedly that it'll happen in time. It all just boils down to the simple fact that we have to do our part as a team and continue to uh, put the products out that we say that we're going to put out and provide the utility that goes along with the token and provides a need in the market. That's what our plan's been from the beginning, and that's what we're going to do. I think we've been moving fairly quickly on all the uh, all the products and all the releases that we we said were coming. We've been moving at a steady pace on all of this. And you see the team every single day. We're staying active. And if anything, we're doubling down in moments like this where we see a little bit of red in the market. We see a little bit of retracement. Um, it tells us that, hey, this is a great moment of calm right before another good storm that gives us a moment to really buckle down do the development right, well as get the community involved again. Everybody um, back to the basics, back to voting the project, engaging each other on Twitter, making sure that we're sharing the Discord link. You can share the Telegram link if you want to. That's not me, but definitely share the Discord link and make sure we're engaging each other on Twitter. Again, I have to say this out loud because I'm talking to myself here. I personally do not do enough as far as Twitter engagement. Um, I'm always here on Discord, of course, but that doesn't help reach the outside community. I know I can do more, and I promise you guys, I'm going to try to continue to do more on Twitter, step up my Twitter game, continue to use more hashtags, stuff like that. This is social media stuff is somewhat new to me, but I'm working on it, and I know I can improve, and I know I will improve in time. I'm sorry if I don't engage you guys as much as I ask you guys to engage everybody else. I promise you I'm working on it. A lot of the times when I hop on like Twitter or something like that, I notice all my 1,000 million DMs, and I end up getting distracted going through those and stuff, and I never get around to doing what I what I set forth to do, and that was to promote the project. Um, that being said, I'm working on it regular basis. Does anybody have any questions for me or for Nick? Awesome. Well, I really appreciate all you guys hanging out with me today. It's always nice to spend some time with community. Um, I might even do another AMA later in the day just to catch a different crowd. This was a little impromptu, I know. Primarily, I wanted to make sure I had an opportunity to talk live in front of MetaBen. I'm sorry uh, I've had so many late AMAs in a row. Um, I talked about it earlier, but my kids have been like out of school because there's been COVID going around in my small little town in Kentucky, and yeah, I've just had a lot going on during the day, so it's been hard for me to actually like schedule everything out and get stuff done earlier. But I was happy to do it today. It felt like a good time to do it. I know I need to have a Telegram AMA soon. A lot of the people over there on TG have been asking about that. So we're probably going to try to hold one of our next AMAs over the next week. One of those will probably actually be in TG one night. So that'll be fun. Or one day. All right, guys. If there's no other questions or anything like that, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Like I said, I'll probably be on later on today, do another little live chat or something if anybody's interested. Thank you all.